Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away. And we may have a face mask here right at the start.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A toss play to Hunt. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. His throw caught at about the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Mariota. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd down, Mariota breaks a tackle. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
A big play there for KC, and even 60 yards. So a big pickup that time, and Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They get it to him running left. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Now Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Green 39.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to take it into the end zone. For a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And James has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Throwing is Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
Mariota on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing, Mariota. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Here we go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that
Here
play.
we go now. Blue 45.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
First down, here's the run with Peterson. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now they'll throw with Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Mahomes now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by for Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The point after is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
To throw Mariota.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They go play action. Mariota. And the pressure gets to him again. Dee Ford in there for the big one. Sack number 200 for his career, tying him with Bruce Smith for the all-time NFL record. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Here we go. Green, 90.
Working from the gun, Mahomes going up top. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45.
Right back to him on 1st down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Z. Here we go. Green.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
We got 4. Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45. Hut.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them... surge across the front. They really created great space for the runner to get in.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. A run, it's Clement. Runs through the contact. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Mariota now on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This is Clement. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll run again with Clement. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they still need 6 yards here on third down after the penalty. From the gun, Mariota. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On the carry, here's Clement. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
False start. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll run with Clement. Finds a seam inside the 40. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that might be Titan football. It is.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
One quarter remains here in Week 16. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Second down, Mariota. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. This one caught by Davis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. D. Ford with a sack many years in the making as he has now broken the all-time career sacks record, surpassing the mark set by Hall of Famer Bruce Smith at 200. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now this is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Green 90. Green 90.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 63 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
James has got it. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
A first down throw for Mariota. And that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dee Ford in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks?
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
This is fielded at the 7. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not that time for Watkins, and it's 3rd down.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They're going to look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going deep here for Watkins. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Wide open receiver complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
One last shot now for Mariota. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chiefs, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.